We're joined by Les Grobstein of The Score. Check out the Grobber overnights on The Score. Let's get right to it. Super Bowl matchup. Peyton Manning's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Russell Wilson, a great young superstar in the making, should be a great Super Bowl outdoors in the cold.
A lot of people are complaining about the outdoor Super Bowl in the cold. I'm not one of them. I love it. Why should every Super Bowl favor the warm weather or dome teams? Let's have one could favor the cold weather teams. Denver is one of those. Seattle, they play in rain and dampness out there. The best defense, supposedly, against the best offense. Be kind of fun.
Are you surprised at what Peyton Manning has done?
No. After he came back last year and did what he did. Now, he's had some difficulty with certain outdoor games when he was with the Colts. But guess what? He hasn't had a home in the dome now for a few years. He missed 2 years ago. He played outdoors last year. Nothing this man does surprises me.
Well, and I think it's a great thing for our student athletes to see that this young man, people said he couldn't play anymore, had his neck fused back together back in the Super Bowl. I really think that a great lesson for our student athletes. Work hard, be prepared, and let's go on. Hey, there's a report out that the Major League Baseball Players Association, they want to kick Alex Rodriguez out of the union since he filed suit with the union. After his suspension this coming season, Les, how can he go back to baseball? The players don't want him. The ownership, they don't want him. I mean, they just want him to go away.
I'll tell you right now why he's going to go back to baseball. It's going to be because of things like this.
Yeah,
Dead presidents plus Ben and Alex, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton. He has millions of dollars. He doesn't care who he's ticking off anymore. Look, you and I have both talked to him. He's not a bad guy. No, he's a bad guy with some of the stuff he's done, but he's not taking no for an answer, and people want to know why. It's all M-O-N-E-Y.
Now, when he comes back in 2015, do you think he'll be like right at his head?
The Yankees don't want him. Like you said, he's suing the Players Association as well. He doesn't care who he's ticking off in this situation. It's about money. He doesn't want to lose his bread.
But do you think they'll be aiming at the head when he does come back?
I hope not. I think that doesn't prove anything. I mean, everybody knew Barry Bonds was on stuff and all stuff like that. When he was ready to break Henry Aaron's career record and all the rest of it, did they throw at him?
No.
No.
All right, let's move on. Hey, in a replay of the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, a couple of years ago, the Jamaican bobsleigh team, well, they're competing now. They're qualified to compete, but they need to raise funds just to get to go to the Winter Olympics in Sochi. Les, a lot of people don't realize it takes a lot of money, and your country has to be behind you. You just don't show up and go to the Olympics.
And the Jamaican government was not at all, or the sports authorities there, behind the Jamaican bobsled team when they first went up to Calgary in 1988. But they went up there. They started poorly. They were competitive. Unfortunately, they had the bobsled overturned. But I think it's a great story. I somehow believe that they're going to come up with some corporate sponsors that will help them because these men belong there.
I agree. Well, are you surprised for Cub fans? No Tanaka for you.
Please.
The pitcher, the Japanese superstar, has signed a 7-year, $155 million contract with the Yankees. The Cubs finished second. Here's my thinking. The Cubs knew they were not going to sign him.
The Dodgers finished second no matter what anybody says. The Dodgers are a team that has a chance to win the World Series. He was going either to the Dodgers. He had no thought of coming here.
Well, I don't think the Cubs really had a thought of signing him. But when the only acquisition is a mascot and the fans are upset, this way the Cubs can say, well, we tried. He went to the Yankees. We did the best that we could do.
It's all a bunch of baloney, as we all know. You know what? So they got the mascot, hip, hip, hooray. He wasn't coming here. I was in Tokyo and had a great time, met some nice folks in the year 2000. They taught me one phrase that has really involved the Cubs. It's called Sayaku. It means the worst.
The worst. Hey, let's move on. Well, speaking of the worst, Richard Sherman's on-field antics, and then in the post-game interview last week going into the Super Bowl, we always tell our CPS and our student athletes about good sportsmanship. Les, he may be a great corner, but that rant and rave after the game, then in the media room following that, I still think it's poor sportsmanship, and it is not something we want our student athletes to be.
He and Michael Crabtree have a history. They don't like each other. That's one point. Look, he probably shouldn't have done it. He did apologize. It's done. It's over with. And people that ask me about him, first of all, it bothered me when people called him stuff like a thug and this. He's nothing of the above.
Right, with the standard.
He's a good guy. He was a 4.0 student. He's done charitable things in his old neighborhood back where he grew up. I think it was in Compton and whatnot. And
but you still don't have to act like an idiot.
And how many Bear fans would take him on the Bears now in a heartbeat?
The question is, we know that it's really tough after an emotional win to put a microphone right in your face because he's on an adrenaline high. But he's a professional athlete. Students are watching. I don't think you have to act like an idiot just because you made a big play.
I agree. And by the way, Erin Andrews handled it like a pro. I thought she handled it as good as anybody could have.
All right. Hey, don't forget our new look Facebook page. Go to it, Game of the Week CPS. Like it for us and let us know who you think will be the high school basketball player of the year. Will it be Alexander, Okafor, or Euless? You let us know. Game of the Week CPS. For the Grobber, I'm Kenny. See you next week on Sports Edition.